everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a day in the studio with Dred Effects. I've got 3 projects on the go that I'm going to take you through today in today's video. We've got the crash helmet from the beginner's guide into painting your first crash helmet, so we've got to get that finished and clear coated. I've also got 2 signs that I've done. I've not put a video up on these 2 signs, but we've got a swing sign and we've got an overhead sign that goes over a shop front. Got to get them clear coated and get a bit of text done on one of the signs. I've also got the dog with me today.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. I'll see you later.
She's just wandering around in the studio. I've also got 2 wing mirrors from a Kawasaki Vulcan. I've done a lot of work on this Kawasaki Vulcan. It's a full bike. There are videos on the channel if you want to see the Kawasaki Vulcan video. It's up there on the channel, guys. Well worth a look. I've got 2 wing mirrors from this actual bike, and I've got to do the candy green marble effect on the wing mirrors and then just do a little bit of barbed wire effect on the actual mirror casing itself. So that's in today's video. So what I'll do is I'll get all set up, stick in a time lapse, get set up, and then I'll talk you through some of the stages on these 3 projects in today's video. See you in a bit. There you go, in that little time lapse, you see me get set up. So you have to do all this. This is what you usually don't see on the videos. But what I've done is I set the projector up and I projected up, cut out all by hand with a scalpel. The picture pop bit that we need for the text, that's all done in transfer tape and then penciled over and then cut out, nice and simple. So that's located on the board there. I'm going to go in with some carbon black. I'm going to use the Creos PS771. It's probably got a load of paint still in it, but we'll give it a little blast through. I'll get this piece done on here, flip the sign over, do that text again, just pull this mask off, place it on the opposite side, and then we'll paint the opposite side, and then that will be done. Couple of screw holes, 10mm holes all the way through the board in the top, and I'm going to just reinforce them 2 holes because you'll have like meat hooks like this, which will go through it and mount it to the arm on the side of the wall. So we'll crack on. I'll stick in another time lapse. I'll get this one done, drilled out and finished, and then we can move on to the marble candy effect on the wing mirrors. See you in a bit. To the candy marble effect on these wing mirrors, and the first thing that we need to do is some panel wipe, give them a clean down, and then we're going to 2-inch mask off the glass. As you can see, we're going to mask that off, and then I'm going to Scotch Brite these up. Because these are painted, I'm going to give them a grey scotch them over. The paints that we're going to use is a standard silver. I used this one in the last marble effect video. We've got the silver, just a standard. You can get this from an art and craft shop. It's an acrylic silver. Just going to mix a piece of this up with some water, get some cling film, and then what you'll do is you will do a wet coat over the mirror, get your cling film, drop the cling film on, and then press the cling film onto the wet paint. And as you pull it away, it pulls that paint away and gives you that effect underneath the cling film onto the black part of the mirror. We'll let that dry off, and then we'll mix up some Candy Green by Specialist Paints. This is a 2-to-1 mix. Mix some Candy Green up, chuck it in the PS290, and then we'll go over and give these about 3 or 4 coats of the Candy Green, and that will then be them bits done. Let them dry, and then we can go in and do a bit of airbrushing. We're going to do some barbed wire on this flat part of the mirror. Just going to do a little band of barbed wire going through, and I'll show you how you do that. So I'll stick you on another time lapse, and you'll see me buzz through this. I'll get these set up so they're mounted so I can work on them. Yeah, see you in a bit. Talk you through that last time lapse on how I did this, because it's all speeded up. I'll just give you a little guide through on what you have to do to get this marble effect. So I cleaned my 2 wing mirrors down first, and that is first and foremost, guys. Whenever you're doing work, make sure your panels are really clean. Panel wipe degreaser gets any fingerprints off and just keeps your work clean. So I cleaned these 2 down, and then I've mixed a piece of the silver base coat, which was the acrylic, the cheap acrylic, water based, mix that up, and I've dropped that into the PS290, which is this one here. I've fitted the spot cap to this. You get 2 caps with the PS290, you get a fan cap and a spot cap. So we've got the spot cap on because it's more of an accurate, it's like a cone. So when you spray, you've got more of a spot area, because on these mirrors, they're quite intricate, and you need to get paint in these gaps in here, all round in these little intricate parts, and I thought the spot cap would be a lot better for that. So we drop the silver in, wet coat over the mirrors, nice and wet. Don't worry if it starts to run or you've got a big build up and it's running and you're thinking, oh no, don't worry about that. Get your cling film, just a standard piece of cling film that you have in your kitchen, and then you would place the cling film over, as you've seen in that video, and you push it down to the paint, move it about, and then when you pull it away, you get that effect on the black part of the mirror, and it just gives you a nice texture, and that's what we was aiming for, just a textured look like marble. So I went round, done that on both mirrors, and then you see me go in and I was just drying off with the PS290, just held the trigger down and I was drying off the paint with blowing air on it. Wherever there's little build-ups of silver paint, I hit it with the air and it moved that paint about as it's pushing that wet paint, and that's another texture as well. You can just agitate and move that paint around with the air blower on your gun, move that round, dry it off. So these are both dry, and these are ready for the next stage I'm going to take you through. It's going to be the Candy Green by Specialist Paints, 2-to-1 mix. I'm going to put the fan cap onto the PS290 now, and this will give a nice 2-inch fan pattern, and it'll atomise it really nice, this candy. So we'll fit that in, we'll get the candy mixed, and I'll take you through that stage. See you in a bit. Talk you through that stage that we've just done with the Candy Green. I mixed the Specialist Paints 2-to-1 dropped it in the PS290, and I've used the fan cap to get a nice even spray pattern. And we've just gone round on the two mirrors. I've dropped a little bit of extra light on there, and there you can see nicely matched between the two. Nice coverage all round, and that's the effect you get with the candy. It just makes it look really nice now with that marble effect with the silver underneath. And this will look even better once it's clear coated. You'll get the depth in the candy then, and it will gloss it all up, gloss both colours up and make it sparkle a bit. So that's the candy green stage. I'll move on to the next stage, which is going to be a little bit of artwork on these two mirrors, and it's a little bit of barbed wire. So I'll see you in the next step. Talk through on that time lapse that we just done for the barbed wire. I traced the barbed wire out on some transfer paper, just penciled it on, and then cut that out with a scalpel, placed it onto the wing mirrors, and then I went in with a Ford frozen white, dropped a bit of Ford frozen white down as a base coat, so we're working off of white, then went in with a dark grey mix and just dusted over, gave it a light pass with the dark grey, and then just started working the two lines in and the little lines with the hand shield just to sharpen bits up. We then went in with the Posca paint pens, a white and a black. White for the highlights, dropped the first pass of white in, then dusted over again with shading grey, and then finished off with the Posca paint pen on the highlight. And that's how it's come out, if that's picking that up. So just a little barbed wire effect across the mirror casings, and I've dropped a little bit of carbon black drop shadow underneath. This will show up more once we've got it clear coated. It'll look a lot better and I can get a better shot for you. So the next stage on this is to clear coat, and I'd advise you, if you're clear coating your first piece of artwork, say you've just done this with me and you've done these, before you clear coat your mirrors or whatever piece of artwork you're doing, have a good check round at your artwork and all your edges, and just make sure all your colours covered, all your artwork's finished, because there's nothing worse than getting really enthusiastic and ready to clear, and you smash the clear down and then you look at it and you've missed a little bit of artwork, or there's a little bit of colour missing, and it's a nightmare. So just have a good check round before you clear. Give it another wipe down and a tack rag, blow it off with air, another panel wipe. You'll be good to panel wipe acrylics. Once they're dry, you can panel wipe over them. It's not a problem, it won't pull it off, but as long as it's dry, you can then panel wipe over. So I'll get set up for the next stage, which will be clear. Get all this tidied up, give it a little clean out, and then I'll take you through the clear coat stage. See you in a bit. I've caught a little bit in the time lapse, not a lot. It's hard to clear coat in here because I've got so many little bits around. When you're smashing a clear coat you can't see, so I've only caught a little bit, guys. So I'll give you a little pan round. That's the mirrors. They've come out nice now. I'll get another light. We'll just shine a bit of a light on them. So that's come out nice. On then you've got the lid, that's that part, and that's the crash helmet. That's all cleared now. So that's looking better. Then we've got the sign, that's that one done. And there's the swing sign, that one's complete now. So when I clear coated, it's a 2-to-1 mix. I've used the multi-mix clear, a couple of coats on each piece, about a 5 to 10 minute flash window in between coats. I've used the Iwata Valeria 1.3 setup for this, for the clear coat, and that's it. Yeah, so it's like they're all finished. We'll leave these overnight and then do a little bit of nibbing and polishing because there's dust that's landed in it. On the flat panel there's a couple of nibs in the lid, that's not a problem. Bit of 1500, job done. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and learnt something along the way. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, click that subscribe, press that notification so you don't miss out on any more upcoming videos of Dred Custom Paint. Big warm welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for all the comments you're leaving, it's much appreciated. And I will see you in the next one. I'll stick a little clip up of what we're going to do next. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you later, guys.